We are going to step into a two-part ritual. We're going to step into the white stone. So does everybody have their white stone? If you don't have a white stone, raise your hand and somebody will come around and give it to you. So you should have a white stone, and you should have this little packet that has an envelope. Oh, Dory, these are the wrong envelopes. They need plain envelopes because they need to be addressed to them. Sorry, I just caught that. So Dory will get different envelopes and we will get those handed out to everybody. So how this is going to work, we're going to do the logistics now so that later we can stay in the deeply rooted space. Yes? So these stones actually come from Jerusalem. They are actually mined from the same stones that make up the white wall, the western wall, right? So there's sacredness here, right? To the degree that you want to allow the vibrational frequencies of these Jerusalem stones to actually be present for you. And what we're going to do is do a meditation that's going to guide us to listen for a word or a phrase. Now, I want to share these with you. So, when I first got my practitioner license, we had a whole initiation ceremony. And we were given a word, right? There was like a bucket of them, and we pulled out a word. So, as I'm sitting there, because my last name before I married my wife was Weir, I was W, so I was last, right? Always last. So, everyone else has gone, and there's literally like 2 stones, right? There was like 40 stones, and now we're down to 2. And the whole time that this is happening, there's a little part of me that's freaking out. Somebody's going to get my stone. Somebody's going to get the word I want, right? And I just kept breathing, and I just said what I said. It doesn't matter what comes out of that basket. I just started to listen. And what I heard as I listened was a radiant joy. That's what I heard over and over and over again. A radiant joy. And as I reached into that basket, what word do you think I pulled out? Joy. That's right. I pulled out joy. So I created this. I don't know if you guys can see it. Stained glass that you can write on. It was a little art project. And I keep this for myself. It says a radiant joy. And I keep this for myself as a touchstone, as something that I can refer back to. So when I feel as if I'm off my center, I have something to refer back to. I didn't just stop with a radiant joy, though. The next year, the word that came up for me was freedom. And that became my word. And so I created something that would act as a touchstone. So this idea of white stones itself is a very unity teaching. So then I discovered unity. And so I spent a year which was all about forgiveness. And I have spent a year which was all about being aligned. I spent a year with a phrase that was rebounding through my head, not just one word. It was from a song by Ricky Byers-Beckwith called, Ricky Byers now, called Had a Revelation. And the 2 things that kept reverberating for me were, hold on, I am the answer. And then the other one that kept coming to me was, pray till you realize. So it doesn't just have to be one word. It can be a phrase. It can be something that just means something to you. It can be part of a song. It could be something that is from Scripture. It is something that will be the touchstone. You guys have all seen It's a Wonderful Life, right? And you know how George, when he's like freaking out and he reaches into his pocket to find Zuzu's petals and they're gone. And then when he is back in real time and he reaches in and he touches those petals and they're there, they're a touchstone for him. That is what this white stone is, a touchstone, so that you can be focused with intention throughout the year. So we're going to listen for the word or phrase first. We are then going to write a letter to ourselves. This is your divine self writing the letter. This is not small you. This is divine you writing a letter, and you can imagine it as being the end of the year. And what would you, divine you, say to yourself about the year that you have had? And how has that quality that you heard in the white stone, how has that word been activated as your life? This is how we claim the thing. So I read my letter from last year a week ago, and it was just shocking to me how like bang on it was. Not in any way I had thought it was going to happen. It talked about stepping into spiritual leadership. It talked about standing in my spiritual authority more. It talked about building new community. It talked about expanding who I was connecting to. And here I am at Unity in Marin, doing all of those things. And I never would have thought at the beginning of the year that that was what I was going to be doing. So the invitation is to allow the divinity that you are to inform how your qualities, they can be a power, they can be whatever you want them to be, are going to move. How do they weave through your life? And what do you start to see? What do you start to notice? So we're doing it in two parts. We're going to focus on the white stone first. And then when we finish the white stone ritual, we're going to move into the letter writing. Okay? When the correct envelopes come around to everybody, which I see is happening, you are going to put your own address on there, because we will mail these to you at the end of the year. So put your own address on there. All right. Are we ready to dive into this?